So here we are, the trailer that I didn't know this was going to be a fucking movie. I'm new. I'm still new in the trailer watching game. I'm not up to date on what my shit is, but we got the fucking Clayface trailer. How badass is that? I didn't know they were making a Clayface movie. That makes me really hyped. Clayface. And I think I talked about it before. I'm still like bonering up on my Batman knowledge, but like when I was a kid, like a lot of kids my age, I'm 36, a lot of kids my age, I watched a lot of Batman the animated series, and the Clayface episode was one of my favorite. I thought he was an interesting character. He kind of like creeped me out because it was sort of vague on how, how much clay he could make. It felt like it reminded me of The Blob. Do you guys remember The Blob? I remember as a little kid that movie actually freaked me out. Just the idea that like Blob would just come in and just nonstop. And Clayface felt like a similar thing where it was just like the clay would never stop. And then I started going back and watching Batman the Animated Series again, and the Clayface trailer. This movie has so much potential because the Clayface character, it develops from him being very vain and using this experimental stuff to keep himself young, and and just all the sort of societal implications of a character like that. I'm very excited just at the fact that they're making a movie, because hopefully they tap into whatever dark energy they use for the original Joker, not fully undo the first one, but whatever dark energy they tapped into for that. If they could get that for this is going to be a good time. And also, it's a long trailer. It's not just Robert Pattinson turning around. It's a 2.5-minute trailer. So I like that too. So let's watch it.
Show me. Show me. What do you want, Miss Hagen?
I want my life back.
I know you. You're famous.
It's a tragedy what they did to him.
Boo.
I'd like to volunteer for human trials.
This isn't cosmetic surgery.
Even if it kills me.
Sorry, I just probably paused on a great line drop. This is also too like way more interesting thing for like these movies to focus on is these like dark aspects of the characters. Because I know for me, and there's probably a lot of people who are still like this, but for me, when I first started like getting into when I first started just consuming superhero content, I was just focused on like, show me the fights and all this and all that, and like, but it's like, no, dude, being able to get into these like dark elements of like where these characters come from, it just creates a substantially more interesting universe to exist in. And on top of that, like DC clearly is letting their movies be darker. I think that's one of the upper hands they have on the movie scene than Marvel does. Like Marvel still is trying to be like, all right, we got to make sure this movie is appealing to every single country in the world and every single human being on the world. And DC's like, now we can make it a little darker, we can get a little fucked up. And yeah, it feels like they're doing it with this, just going into a very dark angle.
Even if it kills me, I'll be better off than I am now. Okay.
You okay?
I'm okay. I feel great, actually.
I have no idea what side effects you'll have or how to treat them.
Sir, the seatbelt sign is on.
We're in unknown territory.
Happening to me.
If you're harboring feelings of anger, you need to let them go.
You want to know how I feel? The people I trusted betrayed me. The justice system failed me. They stole my career, my money, my life. I'm a monster.
I have no idea who you are.
Yes, dude. That looks fucking sick. I hope they don't even introduce I hope they go the whole movie without even like showing They're probably gonna, but they need to go the whole movie without even showing fucking Batman. Just hit me with like same as Joker, just hit me with like pure origin story, dude. Just pure origin story. That also too, I'm very excited like this just seems like a special effects artist just field day. Just flex on them, dude. Flex on them with the special. Like, dude, some of this shit's crazy.
I'm a monster.
Yeah, man. A lot of opportunity to just flex on them with that. No, I think I like these God, that looks cool. Yeah, man. I'm very excited about this because I just feel like the way that they're going about it, it creates a like a big opportunity to create this like immersive world. Because that is the thing with a lot of these. Like I think we've learned it a lot of times with some movies from the past. It's harder. Well, there's certain movies like I'm actually excited for the Street Fighter movie whenever that comes out, and they're kind of doing the characters exactly like the video game, and that's one that I feel like you just have to go balls out and just be completely ridiculous and just do it exactly like the game. But then, there's things with Batman, like we go back to old Batman movies with, like we'll look back at it ironically and fondly of it, but was that the Tim Burton one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Carrey? Like that one's like fun to watch and likable, but it kind of like in a suck, but it still sucks ass. You know what I mean? Ice to Meet You. Come on, like it's fun, but it's not like actually like good. You know what I mean? So like there's stuff like that, and it's not always. And I think also too with over the years the lack of technology, like it's like I think like Clayface just has been postponed due to lack of tech. Like, how do you do that outside of a cartoon? How do you do a live action Clayface movie? It's tough. So, seeing that they seem to have the tech down, seeing that they're like going about it in a smart way, and also too the guy that they have playing Clayface, I think is perfect for a character like that, where it is very believable that Bro is going to be it is very believable that Bro is going to be like a looks obsessed pretty boy type guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy in private, but you know what I'm saying? Like the character of Clayface seems very believable on this dude. And like, I will say this, I hope it doesn't create this, cause I've been thinking about this a lot too, where I'm watching videos of like, I'm watching, I believe it's the Dark Knight Returns, where the whole background plot to that, or not even the plot, but the whole background thesis is like, maybe Batman's actually the bad guy. And it's like people do this weird thing where they completely sympathize with the bad guy's pain. And then they have to do this like baby brain thing where they're like, so that makes everything they're doing okay. And you're like, nope. Like in the cartoon, it's talking about how, like, and I forget exactly Two-Face's. Well, I know Two-Face's origin, but I forget like how much of it would have been actually Batman's fault and stuff like that. But that's like the angle they're going to. And they're trying to be like, oh, poor baby Two-Faced in it. And then one of the scenes right after that is Two-Face. Two-Face is like he's trying to set off a bomb in the city. And you're like, bro, this guy's like a terrorist. Like there's this weird. Like, I think because also, too, people get really obsessed with Batman being a billionaire. Like, that's why Absolute Batman's so popular, because people get, like, so hung up on Batman being a billionaire, which I think is silly, because I think people hyper-focus on the shit that's not really that important. Like, the billionaire thing is really just a writing mechanism, It's like, you want a bat, you want the Batwing, you want the Batmobile, and you want all the crazy tech. and you want him to be able to have time to do all the shit he does, well, he's a billionaire. It's the same thing. It's like Tony Stark. Like, do you want Avengers Tower? Then you need Tony Stark to be a fucking trillionaire. Like, that's, and to not like, how do we get all this crazy shit without too much explanation? Well, Tony Stark has endless money. Like, so it's like, there's like, people also too, a lot of times they miss the bit. I feel like they miss the, like, I'm not going to say any of this definitively, because I'm still new to like comic books. Like, well, I mean, I've always known comic books, but I've just been getting more into them lately. So I'm not going to say anything definitively. But at the same time, like, I'm familiar with storytelling and just movies and TV shows and books and comics and manga and anime and stuff like that in general. And I've noticed it the most in comic books, and superhero shit and stuff like that. People really like to be hung up on like sort of some of the insignificant specifics. They like to get hung up on that, and then they really miss like the bigger story and the bigger conversation to be had. And then they also approach it in like a binary way, but I'm rambling a little bit. This looks pretty cool. This looks like it's going to be fucking sick. I think DC's been, well, I haven't seen Supergirl. I know a lot of people clown that, but I saw a lot of the complaints and none of them seem super. Like, I saw that complaint where they were like, oh, this is the record drop moment, and they were playing Jimmy Eat World, and everyone was just like, that's the worst thing ever. And I was like, when do we start hating Jimmy Eat World? So I got to go watch Superhero before. I've learned, I think I talked about this before. I don't take anyone's movie opinion into full consideration until I've seen the movie. Because it's like, there's been countless times where I'll hear insane opinions. Like, I remember I was talking to my buddy about, oh, yeah, I remember one of the reasons my buddy hated Weapons. I remember I don't know if this is the main reason he hated Weapons, but he was like criticizing Weapons where, like, if you see Weapons, there's like a young girl who does like a little monologue catching you up to what the like current thing is. And it was like, they never tell you who that girl is. And I go, what? What? How would that matter? How would that affect anything? And it's like, they'll be like, that really took me out of it. And I go, huh. People really do shit like that a lot with movies and stuff. Really create arbitrary requirements for it to be good, and then let it really bother them. It's not an envious position of a filmmaker, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm rambling, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. See you on the next one. I do have a Patreon if you are interested in helping out the stream, or doing the streams, or, well, not, you can't do the streams. I do the streams, which almost every morning here, if I'm not hungover. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Bye.